Hello everyone, and welcome back to this EC Aquatics video. So this right here is my dorm room tank, and it's right now completely empty except for a couple of Amano shrimp that are just hanging out in here. It's looking very bare, and it's time to get a fish for this tank. And the best fish for this kind of 7-gallon tank is a Betta Fish. So I decided to order one online. And when you're thinking of ordering fish online, you're probably thinking that it's coming from somewhere in the US. You know, you buy it from a website like Aquabid or eBay or Live Aquaria or Flip Aquatics or something like that, that will send your fish from the United States, right? Either a private breeder who's just breeding it for fun and making a little extra cash, or someone who's doing this as a business. But the fish is coming from the United States, not from a different country. On Aquabid, though, as you can see here, most of the Betta fish that are up for sale are not from the US. As you can see, worldwide shipping, and they are from either Indonesia or Thailand, where these Betta fish are actually native to. And there is a large industry of Betta breeders who breed Bettas there and will ship them all around the world. That's where a lot of your local fish stores will actually get their Betta fish from, is these same sellers, but they'll just buy in bulk. But you can buy, as a private person, you can buy 1 or 2 or more Betta fish from these sellers, and they will ship them across the entire world to get to you. So that's what I decided to do in today's video. I've never done this before. I have no idea how this works. I'm going to try and walk you guys through all, the steps that there are to buying a Betta fish from Indonesia. And when I saw, all these Betta fish, I've seen them before on Aquabid being for sale, but never really pulled the trigger. And now I decided, it's one that I really thought was cool, and it was actually, relatively cheap. So I decided, why not? And I think it'll make a cool video as well, but I think it's a great way to buy Betta fish, and we'll see how they survive, and I'll walk you guys through all the steps that I took, because I knew absolutely nothing. And luckily the seller that I reached out to was very kind and explained all the steps, which was great, because now I'm able to pass that knowledge on to you guys as well. So the first thing that I did is, obviously, I reached out to the seller via email, and he was very, very accommodating. I'll show you some of the emails that we sent back and forth while he kind of explained what I was to do and what I needed to do, which I thought was very helpful, and he was more than willing to help out, which was great. And I even reached out to him before I even bought the Betta fish, just to ask kind of what I needed to do, and he really explained. But he explained, that the first thing that we need to do is contact a trans-shipper. And so what a trans-shipper does is they will receive packages that are sent from overseas, and they will reship them locally. So like via the postal service, which is what I end up using. So this seller located in Indonesia will send the Betta fish internationally to the US, to this transshipper that will receive like all the packages that are coming into the US, and then they'll send all of them out via the postal service, and they'll take a little bit of a commission along the way. Basically what happens is you pay the seller, you pay them a little bit of money for the shipping overseas, and then you pay the transshipper the shipping within your country. So like I paid, I think it was $5 or something like that for the shipping from Indonesia to the US, and then I reached out to the transshipper to kind of coordinate shipping there. Then the next thing I did is, after I bought the fish, then I reached out to the transshipper, and I did that by Facebook Messenger of all things, but that's what he used, and he was very, very accommodating and everything like that. He listed out his fees very, very, very well. The Betta fish seller then reached out to me again on the day that he was sending out the fish from Indonesia. It was 2 days. It took basically 48 hours for the Betta fish to reach the US from Indonesia, and then the transshipper then reached out, let me know that the Betta fish was there. So then he sent it out basically that day, and then a couple of days later it got to me. So my Betta just got here, so I'm going to go grab him from the mail and unbox him, and hopefully he's alive after being sent, completely across the world from Indonesia to the US. Alrighty, so I've picked up my Betta fish. He was shipped out from Indonesia 6 days ago, I think, but he was obviously at the transshipper a couple days ago, so I'm going to pop him open, and hopefully he is still alive. Alrighty, let's get this guy all unboxed. Well, he's packaged well. Tons of styrofoam and stuff. Oh, good. There's a heat pack, and heat pack is still warm. That is excellent. Excellent news. Heat pack wasn't directly touching him. Oh, good. There is movement, as you can see. He is alive. That is great to see. Wow, look at him. He looks beautiful. Yeah, he looks great. He's all alive and well. That's really great to see. Wow, he's a gorgeous fish. So I'm going to get him acclimating. He was packaged very well, as you can see. Tons of styrofoam, which is great. He couldn't have been bumped around at all. There was this styrofoam here, so his bag was here. Is done to protect these fish was done, which is wonderful. This was packaged very, very well. I'm very impressed and very, very happy about the way this was packaged, and it allowed him to survive his journey. And this guy is double bagged as well, which is great. Bag has a lot of air in it, which is great. That's exactly how you're supposed to package a fish, with about a third water and 2/3 air, because that'll allow him to breathe air. Oxygen has more air, or air has more oxygen than water. So great to see. I'm going to get this guy just floating in the tank for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then we will let him in. Alrighty, so he's now been acclimating for about 30 or 40 minutes or so that's plenty of time, and now I'm going to add him in. And the reason that I'm floating him and not drip acclimating him is because of ammonia. And so what happens, obviously, he's in the bag for several days, he's going to poop, right? Poop decomposes, becomes ammonia. But when it's not exposed to a lot of oxygen in the air, it's not as toxic. But as soon as you open that bag up, it rapidly, I guess, oxidizes, I think is the term, and becomes really deadly. So as soon as you open up that bag, you got to get them out, because that water becomes really bad. And if you drip acclimate your fish that have been shipped, they will die of ammonia poisoning. They will suffer from ammonia burns and ammonia poisoning, which is really, really dangerous to them. So always, when you're getting fish through the mail, always float them to just acclimate them to temperature, and never drip acclimate them, or, they will suffer. Alrighty, so he is out of the bag and in the net, and there he goes. Alrighty, there he is right there, just hanging out right now. Definitely a little stressed, but even now his colors are looking really, really nice. Very similar to what the picture actually looked like, which is great. So I'm going to give him some time to kind of settle in and give you guys an update in a few hours. I'm also going to toss in some food for him in a couple of hours. Alrighty, so it has actually been over a month since I got this guy from Indonesia, and he has been just absolutely awesome. Nothing wrong with him. He's eating. He's great. His colors are really, really nice. I love the little blue speck he's got right on top of him. But yeah, I first fed him. I think it took him about 3 days to really settle in, and then he started to eat. And he's been loving life ever since. He's really, really enjoying his tank here. He's very, very active. He's on my desk at school, and I sit at the computer working, doing homework a lot, and he's constantly right up in this corner begging for food. I mean, he's very active, very lively, and he's doing great. And I think you guys can see that, that there's nothing wrong with him. So hopefully this shows that, you can easily get fish from Vietnam or from Indonesia or from Thailand, and they will come in very, very healthy, just as healthy as they would be if you got them from your local fish store. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I will see you all in the next one.